Episode 4 looks like it may finally push the ranch to its breaking point. After weeks of tension, hidden conflicts, and growing pressure surrounding Rip and Beth, the latest trailer suggests that the peace around the ranch may already be falling apart because someone is making dangerous moves behind the scenes, and Rip is starting to notice. The Episode 4 promo teases rising conflict, emotional confrontations, and a growing sense that the ranch is no longer safe from the enemies closing in around it. Beth appears more determined than ever, Beulah's influence continues spreading, and Carter may be getting pulled into problems far bigger than he realizes. But the biggest question is this: what happens when Rip and Beth finally stop holding back? Because according to the trailer, Episode 4 may be the moment where tensions explode into open war. Let's break down everything hidden inside the Dutton Ranch Episode 4 trailer and what fans should expect next. The Episode 4 trailer opens with Rip standing outside the ranch late at night, staring toward distant headlights slowly moving through the darkness. Right away, something feels wrong. There's no music, no conversation, just silence and tension. Rip's expression alone tells viewers everything they need to know. He senses trouble before anyone else does. And throughout the trailer, that feeling only grows stronger. Several quick shots show Rip inspecting damaged areas around the ranch, watching workers carefully, and quietly observing strange activity happening around him. He doesn't look confused, he looks suspicious. Then we hear one of the most important lines in the entire promo: "This place is about to change." That statement feels much bigger than a simple warning. It sounds like a threat, because Episode 4 strongly suggests that whatever has been building beneath the surface is finally beginning to reveal itself. One particularly tense moment shows Rip confronting someone off camera while visibly angry. The trailer cuts away before viewers hear the full conversation, but the emotion on Rip's face makes it clear that he believes something serious is happening behind the scenes. And when Rip believes someone is threatening the ranch or the people he cares about, he rarely stays patient for long. The trailer also repeatedly shows Rip separated from everyone else, almost like he's carrying the pressure alone. That isolation may become important, because Rip has always handled problems by protecting others first, even if it means putting himself directly in danger. And Episode 4 seems to suggest he may soon be forced into exactly that situation once again. If Rip senses danger coming, Beth appears completely ready to confront it head-on. The Episode 4 trailer makes it very clear that Beth is no longer interested in staying patient or pretending everything around the ranch is normal. From the very beginning of the promo, she looks angry, focused, and increasingly determined to push back against the growing pressure surrounding them. Several scenes show Beth involved in tense conversations where the atmosphere feels ready to explode at any moment. But unlike earlier episodes, Beth doesn't look worried. She looks prepared. Then comes one of the strongest moments in the entire trailer. Beth stares directly at someone, most likely Beulah, before delivering a chilling warning: "You picked the wrong family." That line instantly changes the tone of the episode, because Beth no longer sounds defensive. She sounds like someone preparing for war. And anyone familiar with Beth knows that once she reaches this point, she becomes incredibly dangerous. The trailer also hints that Beth may already suspect who's responsible for the growing problems surrounding the ranch. Several quick flashes show her reviewing documents, questioning people, and appearing increasingly convinced that someone is hiding the truth. What makes this even more interesting is that Beth doesn't appear interested in protecting relationships anymore. She appears focused on protecting the ranch at all costs. There's also a brief emotional moment where Beth and Rip share a quiet conversation away from everyone else. Even without hearing the full dialogue, the scene feels important because it suggests both of them understand how serious the situation is becoming. And if Beth and Rip are truly united against a common threat, Episode 4 may become the beginning of a very dangerous fight for anyone standing against them. While Rip and Beth prepare for growing conflict around the ranch, Episode 4 also hints that Carter may soon find himself caught in the middle of something far more dangerous than he expected. Throughout the trailer, Carter appears noticeably unsettled. Several quick scenes show him watching tense conversations from a distance, standing awkwardly during confrontations, and looking unsure about who he can really trust anymore. That uncertainty feels important, because Carter has spent much of the season trying to find stability and belonging inside this new life. He's slowly built connections, earned trust, and tried to stay out of situations that could create more chaos. But Episode 4 strongly suggests that avoiding conflict may no longer be possible. One particularly interesting moment shows Carter alone near the ranch late at night before the trailer suddenly cuts to an argument happening nearby. The scene is brief, but the editing makes it feel like Carter could accidentally become involved in situations far bigger than himself. There's also a tense shot where Rip appears to warn Carter about something, though the trailer cuts away before viewers hear the full conversation. That moment feels significant because Rip rarely gives warnings unless he believes real danger is approaching. And if Carter ignores those warnings, he could quickly find himself pulled into conflicts that have nothing to do with him personally, but may still change his future completely. The trailer also continues hinting at emotional tension surrounding Carter's relationships with people at the ranch. As loyalties begin shifting and pressure continues building, Carter may eventually be forced to choose where he stands. And in a place where trust is already starting to fall apart, choosing the wrong side could come with serious consequences. For most of the season, Beulah has appeared calm, confident, and completely in control of every situation around her. No matter how tense things became, she always seemed to stay several steps ahead of everyone else. But Episode 4's trailer suggests that control may finally be starting to crack. Throughout the promo, Beulah looks noticeably more frustrated and defensive than viewers have seen before. Several scenes show heated conversations, tense confrontations, and moments where people around her no longer appear fully loyal or convinced by what she's saying. That shift feels incredibly important, because power inside the ranch world depends heavily on control, influence, and fear. And once people begin questioning you, everything can start falling apart very quickly. One of the most revealing moments in the trailer shows Beulah standing silently while chaos unfolds around her. She doesn't look confident, she looks cornered. Then we hear a chilling line. Every secret eventually comes out. That statement feels directly connected to Beulah, because Episode 4 strongly hints that hidden truths surrounding the ranch, and possibly Beulah herself, may finally begin surfacing. The trailer also repeatedly cuts between Beulah and Beth during tense moments, almost suggesting that their conflict is becoming increasingly personal. And if Beth truly believes Beulah is responsible for the growing problems surrounding the ranch, viewers may finally see the beginning of a direct war between them. There's also a quick scene where Beulah appears to lose her composure during an argument before the trailer immediately cuts away. That moment may seem small, but it could be one of the biggest clues in the entire promo, because people only lose control when they feel pressure. And for the first time this season, Beulah may be realizing that Rip and Beth are no longer backing down. They're coming after answers. And that could make Episode 4 the moment where Beulah's carefully controlled world finally starts collapsing around her. Based on everything shown in the Episode 4 trailer, it feels like the story is heading toward one of the biggest turning points of the season so far. The tension around the ranch is no longer building quietly in the background. Now it feels ready to explode. And the biggest reason is that every major character appears to be moving toward conflict at the exact same time. Rip is becoming increasingly suspicious and may soon begin investigating who's truly behind the growing problems surrounding the ranch. Once Rip starts looking for answers, things usually escalate very quickly. Beth, meanwhile, appears completely done staying silent. The trailer strongly hints that she's preparing to confront Beulah directly. And if that happens, viewers could see one of the most explosive showdowns of the season. Carter's storyline also feels increasingly important. At first, he seemed disconnected from the larger conflicts happening around the ranch. But Episode 4 suggests that may no longer be the case. Whether intentionally or accidentally, Carter could soon become caught in situations far more dangerous than he realizes. And then there's Beulah. For most of the season, she controlled the narrative around her. But the trailer repeatedly hints that secrets are beginning to surface, and that her influence may finally be slipping. If Rip and Beth uncover the truth about what's happening behind the scenes, the balance of power around the ranch could completely change. But perhaps the biggest prediction of all is this. Episode 4 doesn't feel like the end of a conflict. It feels like the beginning of a war. Because once trust disappears, once accusations start flying, and once people stop holding back, there may be no way to return things to normal. And by the end of Episode 4, the ranch itself may never feel the same again. So what do you think happens next in Dutton Ranch Episode 4? Is Beulah truly behind the growing chaos surrounding the ranch? Or is someone else secretly pulling the strings from the shadows? Can Rip and Beth stop the situation before everything spirals completely out of control? And could Carter unknowingly become caught in a conflict that changes his future forever? One thing the trailer makes very clear is that the pressure around the ranch is reaching dangerous levels fast. Rip no longer trusts what's happening around him. Beth looks ready to fight anyone standing in her way. And Beulah may finally be losing the control she worked so hard to maintain. But what makes episode 4 feel so important is that every storyline now seems connected. The emotional tension, the hidden secrets, the growing suspicion, all of it feels like it's moving toward one explosive collision point. And once that happens, there may be no turning back for anyone involved. The ranch has survived conflict before, but this time feels different. This time it feels personal. Drop your predictions and theories in the comments below, because episode 4 could completely change the direction of the season moving forward. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more Dutton Ranch trailer breakdowns, predictions, hidden clues, and future updates every week.